Isn't it strange how so many versions of you live in other people's minds? To some, you're the quiet one who never speaks. To others, you're the loud one who never stops talking. Some see you as distant and hard to know, while others think you're the most caring person they've met. But none of these versions are the real you. They're just pieces shaped by how people see the world, not by who you really are. Even the person you believe yourself to be only exists for yourself. One that lives only in your mind, built from your own memories, your worries, and your dreams. Perhaps who you are isn't meant to be defined, but discovered moment by moment in the way you choose to live. But you're not defined by the fragments others see or even the image you hold of yourself. You're the choices you make, the love you give, and the life you create. Maybe being undefinable is the most human thing of all.
Oh, wow, he's gorgeous. Is that a golden retriever?
He isn't a professional attention seeker.
I used to have one of the friendliest dogs. How old is he?
Just turned 5 but still thinks he's a pup.
Classic oldie, big and strong but useless for protection.
If someone broke into our apartment, he'd show him my watch collection. Amen.
South will not rise again till it's paid for every sin. Strange fruit, hard bargain till the roots in southern Gotham.
Okay, I'm going to start this video by saying I do not know if this is true, and I really hope it's not. But is anybody else seeing all these videos about how all our deportation planes are flying out over the middle of the Atlantic, and then their transponders getting shut off, and then when their transponder comes back on, they're on their way back in, and now they're seeing bodies chained up, washing up on shore in like Spain and places? And I'm seeing videos about how they're specifically using cargo planes that you can open in the air, and it would be cheaper, way cheaper, to use passenger planes to deport people, because it would cost a lot less money than military cargo planes, and you could put a lot more passengers in each plane than you can in military cargo planes. But you can't open the doors to passenger planes in the air. You can to cargo planes. That's how they do like airdrops and things like that. Now I really hope this isn't true, but does anybody know any aviation experts or anything that can like prove this wrong for me? Because I'm really hoping it's not what it looks like.
I'm finding it. I'm finding it. Hold on. Y'all are fucked. Y'all are fucked expeditiously. The vice mayor with the post and delete. She said, SoCal gangs don't be out here claiming Crip, Blood, Hoover, GD. Don't claim none of that shit if your ass ain't defending your turf against ICE. If you ain't standing on the front lines, defending your community, defending your turf, defending your block against ICE, hang that banging shit up. Now, to me, that sounds like she called all the SoCal gangs to the forefront. That to me, she just summoned some shit. What y'all think?
A Disney employee is among more than 150 suspects arrested in a human trafficking bust in Polk County. Fox 13's Carla Byron tells us more about what the sheriff's office calls Operation Autumn Sweep.
Autumn Sweep was a 5-day undercover operation that began on October 2nd. 157 people were arrested for soliciting prostitutes, committing prostitution, or aiding and abetting prostitutes.
In addition to our human trafficking operations, we're also doing a child predator operation.
3 others were arrested for traveling to have sex with minors, one of the suspects of which was an employee at Disney World. A man from Davenport was also arrested and charged with human trafficking, a life felony.
If you're thinking that we're out here just going after people that are looking for prostitutes and we could be doing other things, ask yourself how you would feel. Ask yourself if it was your son or daughter that was being victimized.
4 possible human trafficking victims were identified of the 47 prostitutes who showed up to the undercover location. One More Child is a ministry in Lakeland that offers advocacy, mental health counseling, and experienced mentorship for survivors. It's in full support of a bill that will be introduced into the legislature called the Human Trafficking Reduction Act, which would make first-time buyers a felony. Right now, this is a misdemeanor in the state of Florida.
The trauma that is caused by being able to purchase a person's body and do whatever you want to it is far too catastrophic. And the resources expended by the Polk County Sheriff's Office and other law enforcement agencies is far too much.
The sheriff says out of the 160 suspects arrested, 16% of them are here illegally.
There is enough money being wasted by the federal government and the executive branch to make a huge dent in the mental health issues, to the drug addiction issues, to the human trafficking victims of this country if we just cut the border off.
Also in the crowd, a survivor who shared her personal story to better serve other survivors.
The scars from my past serve as a reminder that not only did I experience a difficult situation, but I made it through. Scars are not only a sign of trauma, but they are also a sign of healing. After all, there is no scar until the wound is closed.
During this investigation, detectives charged a total of 35 felonies and 201 misdemeanors. The suspects' criminal histories included a total of 327 felonies and 455 misdemeanors. In Polk County, Carla Byron, Fox 13 News.
There's cities underground, there's warehouses underground, there's actual homes underground. People build these tunnels and they've built them for decades. There's a lot of elite celebrities. They go down there for parties. Underneath the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, California. I was there for a cock party. We walked through the museum, through the garden area, and employees led us to underground tunnels. We had to take an elevator and stairs. We had to be led. There is no way that you can just walk into a tunnel. The entrances and the exits are in your face, but there's no way that you can just walk through tunnels. You'll get stuck. You'll go deeper and deeper, and you won't be able to come back out because it's hard, because the tunnels run all different directions for miles and miles and miles and miles. So if you go down the wrong one, you'll get stuck, and it's confusing to turn back around and get back to where you're going. So you have to be led in and out. I think people assume that when you...
Hey, BlackRock, what were you a part of in 2008, buddy?
Part? No, we're more of a go full send or not at all type company.
Oh, no.
Our CEO and founder, Larry Fink, created and promoted collateralized mortgage obligation for subprime mortgages. Yeah, it's like caused the collapse.
Okay, so his idea screwed up the world economy, and that's where his story ends, right?
Oh, no, when things hit the fan, the federal government thought, gosh, who would know more about toxic assets than Larry Fink and BlackRock? You know, the guys who created it. So they gave him a key advisory role.
What? Okay, what did they do with that $700 billion of toxic asset money?
Well, I mean, it wasn't just used for toxic assets. I mean, some banks needed money too. And weirdly enough, 8 of the 9 banks that were given a ton of cash, they just happened to be invested in by Larry Fink and BlackRock.
Why did they ask the wolves to watch the sheep?
Yeah, what's crazy is who benefits from all this inflation and pain? And that's people that own assets, you know, like that $12 trillion of assets that BlackRock and Larry Fink manage.
How is this just not a crime or at bare minimum conflict of interest.
But that's just us warming up. We have heavily invested in the CCP's military and nuclear programs, including groups of people that have been sanctioned for, suppressing human rights.
What? But Larry Fink always publicly claimed to be super pro-DEI. When did equity and inclusion stop including human rights?
How weird. I guess Larry Fink only cares if DEI is happening in the West or places people are paying attention to, because if not, he doesn't care if you DEI or if you DIE, and he's still our CEO to this day.
You know the company BlackRock that pretty much owns the majority of the world? Now here's the thing, BlackRock's got 11% of Tesla. It's got its hands in all the major Fortune 500 companies within the States. And it turns out that when you own percentages of every single company, you're able to have a say, you're able to have an opinion, you're able to provide policy changes to these companies, which therefore means you can control these companies. And if you can control these companies that serve the majority of the United States, therefore you can control the United States. If you can do this now on a global scale, now all of a sudden you have control over the world.
When I was in college, I extensively studied Russian geography because I was like, Donald Trump is aligning with Vladimir Putin, so we're going to need to understand the inner workings of the Soviet Union quickly because Vladimir Putin is going to use Donald Trump as a tool for global imperialization, which is exactly what happened. He also exacerbates climate change to melt the Arctic Passage so that the US and Russia can trade, like the tariffs. Anyway, but no one listened to me, and now I know a lot about Russia. So I'm just going to share a fun fact with you. Did you know that they built an exact copy of Gary, Indiana in Russia? There's a town in Russia that's an exact copy of Gary, Indiana. This is it.
Hi there, stopping in to remind you that if you're dating a stone top or a touch-me-not for the sole purpose of making them not a stone top or a touch-me-not anymore, that makes you a sexual predator. Yeah. And celebrating because you got them out of that is really weird. Are y'all okay? Literally, is everything okay at home? Something has got to be wrong. Because no.
People are always saying, where are the good men at? Man, where are the good women at? Where the...
And why are you, as an adult man, blonde?
He would have loved you. He would have loved you. You would have been perfect. He would have loved you.
Alright, yeah, I got that.
What is that? You literally can't act like that every time you see a blonde man, dude.
Oh, you're a child and you want emotional comfort? Maybe you should get some. The state mandates I give you food, clothing, and shelter. That's all. Remember, you should be grateful to me no matter how I treat you. No, small child. I don't care how you feel because I've seen worse. Let me tell you all about it. Therapy, that's for weak, stupid people. You don't want to be weak and stupid, do you? A closed door in my house? That's not my door. That looks like a perfect mark for a mark from the bottom of my shoe. I really want to send you off to military school. You're lucky I don't. But camouflage, I wouldn't have to see you. Your siblings are cool. Why aren't you them? Your siblings are lame. Thank God you're not them. What is your problem? Why are you acting so difficult? Just be honest. Okay, it's you. Go to your room. If you keep acting up, I'll send you to therapy or something. You're acting like you need it. No, I'm not weak or stupid. Okay, good. Prove it. I am so genuinely miserable raising 3 kids alone while dealing with significant adult problems and chronic illness while having no one to turn to during my many hours of need. And it's your fault, because you're a bad person. Oh, you want to discuss how my behavior affected you and affects you to this day as an adult? That's too deep and dark for me. So yeah, I think ultimately one of the ways we can improve our friendship is to put more intention behind the ways we address each other's needs. I really need more patience from you, but I understand that my coping mechanisms can be really frustrating for everyone involved. I totally get where you're coming from. So I'm gonna try and communicate much more clearly in the future, and meanwhile, I would love it if we could establish some sort of signal to indicate when one of us needs to exit a conversation temporarily. Do you think that would work? How are you feeling?
You must have brain-eaten amoeba if you think a motherfucker built like a sunsetter retractable awning can get underneath one of my videos and chin check me. I do this for fun. I'm over here stacking my bread like we bears, and the bitch who wig sits high but looks low decided that she was gonna get underneath one of my videos and talk to me about how the modern woman can't keep a man. The hoe ain't get the memo. Dick is easier to get than clean water. Keep a man. You can rob a nigga at click point and he will thank you. You blow lightly on a man's thigh and watch how the modern Jezebel fumbles. Dick is like Thor's hammer, except anybody with a warm hole can pick it up. A nigga will be outside your window in the rain, screaming, crying, pissing, shitting, begging to suck the fat out your drawers. A nigga will eat your ass gristle straight off the rim, so you can throw his name in a proverbial hat for a chance at common labia. Keep a man. Girl, Dick is common loot.
Mr. Gatsby, 7 o'clock in the morning. Today's the day! No. Can you just leave me alone?
It didn't age poorly, it's racist. It's not an underage girl, it's a child. Oh yes, the words that we say can take a terrible thing from egregious to something mild.
The good news is there's no more plague! Huzzah! The bad news is there's no more London.
Is there anyone even named Sheldon in real life? My class Toto from 6th grade. That's a turtle. When God sings with his creations, will a turtle not be part of the choir?